Hello my creative friends. Thank you for joining me today. If you are joining me from Hand Stamped Sentiments, I want to thank you for watching my video. I wanted to show you what I did to make this card, a couple of things, and also kind of my thoughts behind it. This week is my birthday celebration week on my blog, and I've been doing lots of fun cards to celebrate my birthday. And today's card is more a, let's say, a thank you card to my parents. I wouldn't be here without them. So I did the Remember When sentiment. I did a little thank you and punched out the tag from Teeny Tiny Wishes. And inside I said, so grateful for you. I thought it might be a nice thing just to thank them for giving me life and raising me. But the sentiment and the card itself would be a really nice sympathy card. I could see it saying with sympathy or I'm so sorry. It could say Happy Mother's Day. This would be a nice Mother's Day card. And let's see, there's lots of sentiments in the Teeny Tiny Wishes. The stamp set I used is Up in the Air. It's a Hostess set. It's going to be retiring the end of May. And it So Sweet would actually be a really nice one to use. I used this stamp, and the first thing I'm going to show you is that I cut this stamp apart so I could use the images separately. So I've got the flowers, the sentiment, and on this I wanted the butterflies to be a different color. So I just cut it apart. You want to make sure you use really sharp scissors. So I'm going to pull this out because I'm actually going to use it. But you can see how they just all go back together. So if you wanted to have it all together, you can put it all together on your clear block. I've already stamped this on just a scratch piece of paper. And this is one of the things I wanted to show you. I stamped an image here. I stamped the next one up a little bit higher. I turned the stamp upside down and stamped down here. Turn it upside down again, stamped here. And I did this, that you notice there's a gap, and sometimes in this card there's overlapping, but that's okay because you're going to take your ribbon across it and cover it. Before I do the butterflies, I think I'm going to show you how I colored this in. I took my color inspiration from this week's Hand Stamped Sentiments Color Challenge number 116. You'll see it's Pool Party, Pink Pirouette, Regal Rose, and Basic Gray. And I really like this color combination. I think I'll be using it even more. You know I love Pool Party if you've been watching or viewing my blog. So the first thing I did was to take the lighter color, the Pink Pirouette, and I wasn't even careful. I just tried to color inside the lines if I could, but I wasn't too worried if I didn't, and colored all of the flowers that were open with this the bigger end of the brush tip. I guess it's called the brush tip of the marker. Then I took Regal Rose and I colored in these ones that were closed. Then you can take any non-porous surface or plastic surface. I just took the case and put some of the marker color down on it. This is Regal Rose. And then I took my blender pen, making sure it was clean, and picked up some of that, and I just went in and added a little bit of shading. And some of the flowers I did just in this color. You can do this so that the light's coming from a certain direction and it's filling in the shadows, but I just kind of did it as a color variation within the flowers. So I wasn't too worried about it. Anytime you use your blender pen, just take out a piece of scratch paper or a piece that you're going to cut out and run it until it's clear and you're able to pick up the next color. And this just wipes up with a baby wipe or a wet cloth. Then I took my second, I guess this is my third color, the Pool Party, and I did the same thing. Then I took Pool Party, just the marker itself, and I went in and did half the leaf in the Pool Party. I've got my pen out. I'll just use my pen. I think it gives a little bit of a darker image using the marker. And I just randomly stamped. It's a good way to fill in spots that might be a little bit blank too. And then I took this all the way up the card, so it looked like the butterflies were coming up this way. And I made sure I didn't have anything up here where I stamped Remember When. Now you see where this butterfly is not quite filled in all the way? I'm going to take my blender pen and go back and pick up a little more Pool Party and fill in that area. Neat trick, huh? Now the last thing I'm going to show you today, I'll show you how to make this in another video sometime, but what I'm going to show you is how I got the color on here. It started out as a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and you'll see it's darker around the edges and lighter in the middle. Here's what I did. Take the Pool Party ink and one of your sponges. The round tab punch is being discontinued. I love using it. I just staple it onto my wedges of sponge. They come in this big wheel and you just cut it down. But if you like to do this, pick up one of those round tab punches before they disappear. So I just pick up a little bit of ink, and I kind of start off on my scratch paper and just start going in, and when I feel like the ink is getting less, I'll go in a little bit further, and I don't put as much pressure down as I go in. So again, just pick up some ink, start off your paper, and head up. And if you feel like it doesn't have enough on the edge, you just go in with some more. And you can make it as dark or as light as you want. I didn't want too much blending on the pink flowers themselves, so I stayed mostly to the edges, and then I filled in a little bit on top of the butterflies. Easy, huh? And I think it's a really nice, pretty effect. So once again, here's the finished card. So I hope you'll be willing to try maybe one or two of these techniques, maybe if they're new to you, see if you like it. It's kind of fun to do something different. I've always loved coloring, and so is my mom, so she'll appreciate this card. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you find some time today to make something creative, and check out my blog this week and see what else is going on with the birthday bash. Bye!